Hi students, welcome to Turbo Machines, and now we are in hydraulic pumps and compressors. Now this is centrifugal compressors. We are going to start the centrifugal compressors in this video. So in this video I'm going to explain about the principal view of centrifugal compressors and the pressure velocity diagram. So if you take this principal view of centrifugal compressors, so it will have if you look at this, there will be a stator and rotor. Okay, and then so the diffuser ring will be there, diffuser blade and impeller. Impeller will be at the center of the centrifugal compressor, and it will have rotors and stators. And there it is, the casing is nothing but volute casing, and water is compressed and centrifugal action will take place, and after the centrifugal compressor the compressed water will go through the discharge. So this is the principal view of centrifugal compressors. Now coming to this pressure volume diagram. So the graph between radial distance and pressure and velocity. So pressure will be increased in the impeller drastically, and then there will be a clearance, and in diffuser again the pressure and volume will increase. The clearance, there will be decrease in the slight difference in the pressure and volume velocity, and then there will be increase in the what you call pressure and velocity. So the first portion is nothing but impeller, where pressure is drastically increased in the impeller, and then there is a clearance, and the diffuser again there is a slight increase in the pressure and velocity. So this is the radial distance. So this is all about the pressure velocity diagram. So moving on to this next one, work done or power input. So we'll see what is power input or work done factor. So phi. So in practice, the power supplied by the impeller on the air is used to overcome the losses like windage, disc friction and casing losses. The work absorbing capacity in a stage is therefore less than that given by the theoretical Euler's equation. This reduction in the work absorbing capacity is taken into account by factor known as power input or work done factor, denoted by the symbol phi. So here power input or work done factor is defined as ratio of work supplied to theoretical work supplied, that is compressor phi is equal to isentropic or actual work supplied divided by theoretical work supplied. So for expression for a power absorbing turbo machine, theoretical work is equal to T, that is theoretical work is equal to U2 VU2 minus U1 VU1. So here, if anything air enters radially with no whirl component in theoretical condition, so if it is run radially or axially, then VU1 will become 0. Then ET is equal to U2 VW2. Then equation 1 becomes phi is equal to E by U2 VW2, or phi is equal to E by mu into U2 square, where VU2 is equal to mu into U2, there where U is equal to slip factor. Thus actual work supplied E is equal to phi mu U2 square. Now moving on to this pressure coefficient, pressure or loading coefficient. So psi P, that is a pressure loading coefficient, is nothing but the ratio of isentropic work required for pressure change divided by isentropic work required for impeller tip speed. So H02 dash minus H01 divided by U2 VU2. So that is equal to Cp into T02 dash minus T01 divided by U2 square, where U2 is equal to VW2. So let us consider this as equation number 1. Then we will see overall pressure ratio. So overall pressure ratio is defined as the ratio of stagnation pressure of the air at the diffuser exit and the inlet of the compressor. So here expression, according to the expression, the isentropic efficiency of the compressor is defined as T03 minus T01 divided by T03 minus T01. So if you simplify this, total stagnation, that is T03 dash divided by T01 is equal to P03 by P01 whole to the power of gamma minus 1 by gamma. So where P03 dash is equal to P03. So if you substitute the pressure ratio, P03 dash divided by P01 will become 1 plus, so efficiency T minus T into T03 minus T01 divided by T01 whole to the power of gamma by gamma minus 1. So we will find out, to find the temperature equivalent of work done on the air, that is equal to actual work is equal to Cp P into T naught V minus T naught 1. So finally pressure ratio becomes 1 plus U2 square phi mu efficiency of T minus T divided by Cp into T naught 1 whole to the power of gamma by gamma minus 1, where Cp is equal to 1005 joules per kg Kelvin. So this is all about the overall pressure ratio. So overall pressure ratio, pressure coefficient, work done, and types of diffusers. So in that same way we will move on to this numericals. So before moving into the numericals, so once again we will come back what we have seen, the centrifugal compressors. So what we have seen is the principal view of centrifugal compressors we have seen. In that volute casing will be there, a diffuser ring, diffuser blade, impellers and discharge. So water enters through the eye of the impeller to the first stator. So stator will act as a guide blades, and so it will allow the water to flow to the what you call the rotors. The rotor is are the movable blades, and the movable blades will rotate because of the centrifugal action. So pressure energy will be increased. So pressure, high pressure energy, high pressurized water will go out through the discharge. So this is the graph between radial distance that we have seen. If you look at that impeller, the maximum amount of pressure is increased and velocity is increased, and then there is a clearance, there is a slight difference, and then the diffuser, again there will be a change in the pressure. Alright, so this is the pressure, and that velocity you can see the different in dotted lines. So that is the pressure velocity diagram. So between the radial distance and pressure and velocity. So this is the principal view of centrifugal compressors, and we have seen that diffuser, types of diffusers and vaneless diffuser and vane diffuser. Here if you look at it, volute casing and impeller will be there at the center, and the moving vanes are there, and so there will be backward vanes. So water enters through the impeller at the eye of the impeller and come to the moving vanes, and as the moving rotors will be rotating, so water will be because of the volute casing, the pressure will be increased, and then the increased the high pressure water will be coming out. So that is a vaneless diffuser. If you come into this vane type vane diffuser, so the additional thing which is added is like a diffuser blade and a diffuser ring, and there will be two different moving vanes and stationary vanes. So because of this, so there will be again what you call, so high pressured, so what I mean, water will be discharged, and this is used for high head. And then we have seen the work done or power input, and then pressure coefficient or loading coefficient. So finally we have seen the overall pressure ratios. So thank you for watching this video.